if it works. So welcome everyone. Bienvenue à tout le monde. We're so happy to have you here this late afternoon and evening. We are pleased to welcome students, professors, staff, and individuals from across McGill, our recent spin-offs and startups, our alumni, and our partners from the accelerator and investment communities of Montreal, to this 7th annual celebration of innovation and entrepreneurship out of McGill's Faculty of Engineering. My name is Katya and I am the Associate Director of the McGill Engine Centre, where one of our missions is to help develop the next generation of McGill technological innovators and entrepreneurs via funding and experiential learning, advising and coaching, business mentorship, and providing networking and connecting opportunities. Our two other missions are to help accelerate the commercialization of our inventions and software and to augment our industrial R&D collaborations. Our key partners and collaborators are the Engineering Student Center, the McGill Dobson Center for Entrepreneurship, and the McGill Office of Innovation and Partnerships. We are also a MITAX approved incubator for their Entrepreneur Accelerate program. Our vision is that our community will contribute value to society by driving innovation. We've been able to put our center and its programs in place thanks to several alumni donors, many present here this evening, and in particular, the late William Sheath, who first helped us begin via a substantial endowment 9 years ago. Since then, we have distributed over 990,000, so almost $1 million, in the form of dollars, in the form of grants, awards, prizes, stipends, and fellowships to over 140 projects and startups, along with providing advising, coaching, and mentoring. I invite you to check out the second annual report for the McGill Engine Centre on our website, as well as the summary and the program of today's celebration. Our team is comprised of our director, Professor Benoit Boulet, our two technological entrepreneurs in residence, Doctors Michael Avedisian and Andrew Chinger, our business development officer, Vivian Denise, our program engagement and community manager and social media guru, Charmin Kong. We have engine boosters that are students across campus, across McGill, trying to grow the technological innovation and entrepreneurship community. And of course, our volunteers, so our key partners are the TechExcel mentors and several other alumni that are project reviewers and mentors. Today, we have a jam-packed agenda shown here. Our key objectives are to showcase and celebrate our creative, entrepreneurially minded students, professors, and their ventures, their progress within the innovation process, and to provide opportunities to network and connect with everyone present here. We know it's tricky on the Zoom and the breakout rooms, but we will try to make the best of it. And please excuse any technical difficulties in advance. Who knows, maybe for future celebrations, we'll be in the metaverse. I don't know. But normally during a celebration, there would be food and drinks. So hopefully you all have something with you wherever you are, so we can raise our glasses to congratulate and thank our entrepreneurs, our innovators, our inventors of the past year. So I'd like now to invite our Dean, Professor Jim Nysel, to say some words.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's event. It's hard to believe this is already our 7th event. I think it's a testament to the very hard work of people like Katja, Benoit, the entire team in Engine, just to see how far we've come. And the fact that we've given so much support to so many people in our faculty, I think is really quite astounding, and it's resulted in major successes. You know, as we enter McGill's 3rd century, and this is in fact the 200th anniversary of McGill University this year, but you may not remember that it's also the 150th anniversary of essentially the founding of our Faculty of Engineering in this form of a spin-off called Mining Engineering off the Faculty of Arts back in 150 years ago. That's quite something. We've come a long way, but we have a long way to go as well. And I think if there's one very important thing that we need to do is we need to be thinking not so much about the past, but thinking about the future, where we're going to go next. And so a big part of this and thinking about the future is essentially what resulted in the creation of the McGill Engine. McGill Engine is really all about creating a community of people who have ideas, who wish to innovate, to actually translate their ideas into practice and contribute to the broader community, not just in terms of McGill, but to Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and the world around. A big part of this, of course, is entrepreneurial type of activities. Entrepreneurial activities are not an easy thing to undertake. Entrepreneurs require a range of skills, attitudes, aspirations, activities, support systems, networks to really make the most of their ideas and to succeed. But when we do that and we enable people to have that kind of success, it creates an ecosystem where people feed back in and really generate additional opportunities for many other people in the years to come. So our goal here through Engine is to establish that ecosystem that continues to feed back on itself and grow and create more and more opportunities for people over time. But to do this again, we have to go back to the concept of what it is to be an entrepreneur. And there's a whole lot of things that make up an entrepreneur, but I think some common attributes, if you wish, that you hear is often about just initiative, self-motivation, self-direction, empathy, the ability to take informed risks, flexibility, adaptability, resilience, creativity and innovation, critical thinking, problem solving. These are all things that I think are part of what we as professionals aspire to do. But often we, particularly I'd say engineers, architects, and urban planners that are part of our faculty, actually learn by doing more than learning by knowing. And so Engine is the means by which you get to practice all those skills and develop them, which really prepares you for a career over the long term. I think in particular right now, we need to think very carefully about the context within which our people, our students graduate. You know, if you talk to our professors years ago or people in the industry, they talk about people who graduate from our halls and they leave and they go into a big business world and they may change their occupation, their position 2 or 3 times, maybe over the course of their lifetime. It's a very different world now. People move a lot and they advance and they pursue different paths that nobody ever thought of before. But that means we need a different type of preparation, a different type of mindset for our students. In fact, we need to prepare our graduates to actually create their own careers, not to just link up their careers to a particular company. So again, Engine is making that possible by showing the path through which our students, our researchers, can actually create a path forward for themselves in the way that they want it to go forward. Well, our goal then is to create future-ready professionals. People are actually equipped to solve the problems that matter and make the most out of all the skills that they have. Well, to do this, we need to, again, create that network, that support system that will enable people to have those opportunities to exercise those skills. And as a big part of that, of course, we have to work as a community. And that is not just a community of students and professors, but it's about working with industry partners, working with the government, working with mentors, working with venture capitalists, all these other people that will inform us with their perspectives, will partner with us and actually make our ideas turn into action. So on that note, I want to draw special attention to the fact that McGill Engine would not exist without the support through philanthropy. We have many of our graduates have gone on to very, very successful careers, and they recognize some really pivotal activities or or opportunities that were presented to them while they're at McGill University. And they've looked back and said, hey, I'd like to create that opportunity for other people. So it is through primarily philanthropic support that we have managed to create Engine and to fund all of the prizes and the innovation awards that we are going to be granting to many winners tonight. So I just want to extend a very, very special thank you to all the alumni and other donors who made Engine possible and continue to support us, not just financially, but with their expertise, their guidance, and their ideas. So you're all part of a major community that is growing in leaps and bounds at this point. So on that note, I'd also like to thank then our sponsor, InnovaBot, for their support of tonight's event. And I ask Mario Venditti to come forward and say a few words to the group. Thank you.
Hi, it's Danny Grant here. I believe you guys can hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Yeah, no, sorry, Mario was not available, so I'm happy to be here again this year, the virtual event. InnovaBot is certainly happy to sponsor the McGill Engine. And Dean Nicel, you had a number of good points that I had only 2 points, and you hit on both of them. InnovaBot continues to build an innovation ecosystem here in Montreal, and we've had some great successes and validation of our model with the exit of one of our portfolio companies, Heyday. But it really is the ecosystem and the collaboration that is important, and the technology to help solve real world problems. And your other aspect that you hit was, starting companies is a real challenge. And I encourage everyone to continue to collaborate and leverage the programs like McGill Engine. It really is a valuable asset to the community. And that's my short talk.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I'm going to back to share the screen because we will actually get going here with our first awardees. That is our Canbridge Engine and Empower Fellows. So the Empower, that's another initiative of the Faculty of Engineering that is focusing on helping students develop their leadership capabilities. The Canbridge program is a highly competitive program for Canadian university undergrads that are entrepreneurially minded and comprises a week-long boot camp in San Francisco and a summer internship in Asia. So the fellows of 2021 are Shle Chavan and Tinatendo Makata. Round of applause. And now this year, unfortunately, there was no San Francisco and no Asia, so they will each tell us what their experiences were. Shlesha, you're up first.
I don't think Shlesha is going to be able to make it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tinatendo, you're up. Tell us about a little bit about yourself and what your fellowship was like this past summer. You have about 1 minute. Go ahead.
So hello, everyone. My name is Tinatendo. I'm from Zimbabwe. More specifically, I'm from a region called Tokwe Mukozi, where many people were internally displaced in order to build a dam for sugarcane monoculture plantation. This left the region underpopulated and many fruit orchards were left abandoned, leading to a large amount of annual fruit waste. This sparked my interest in agriculture and a desire to learn how to preserve these resources and render them beneficial to the remaining population. Over the summer, I went to Fiddlehead Nursery and learned how to do permaculture design, which is a type of regenerative agriculture that prioritizes empowering community members. I plan on using this knowledge that I acquired to properly design my fruit startup in Zimbabwe while avoiding repeating the same mistakes that were made by others in that region. So that's pretty much it.
Great. Thank you so much, Tinatendo.
Thank you.
Moving right along to the next prizes, the Ian McLaughlin prizes for entrepreneurship in engineering. So I'm really happy to be able to introduce Mr. Ian McLaughlin, who is with us today. Ian began his career as an engineer for the firm of Canadian Alice Chalmers. He then worked in the Canadian investment banking industry for 30 years. He also founded Magi Cellular Rental, a provider of cellular airtime within Quebec. From 1992 to 2000, Ian was an adjunct professor at the Dobson Center for Entrepreneurial Studies, as it was called back then. In 1998, he established the Ian McLaughlin Prizes for Entrepreneurship in Engineering. And at that time, he also created the courses that became a foundation for the minor in technological entrepreneurship for undergraduate students in engineering. This minor, by the way, is the third most popular. It's tied with aerospace engineering, and software engineering and computer science are #1 and #2 for minors. So Ian McLaughlin, I'll get you to announce the winners.
Thank you, Katja. I'm delighted to be here. I graduated in 1960 with a mechanical engineering degree. I thought one thing that Katja talked about was I was in the cellular phone business. When that took place, a cell phone was the size of a brick, and the cost of a cell phone was $5,000. So the pricing mechanism has come a long way, and I initially planned to have 5 sales in 6 months. I had 250 in 3 months. So you get lucky, and if you see an opportunity, look at it. Okay, this year's winners are Natasha Jacobson and Trevor Cotter for BioOptic, and Yannick DeMello for Stoka. Please tell us. Please tell us more about your startups. You each have about 1 minute. The questions are for later during the networking period in the breakout rooms. Let's start with BioOptic. Thank you, Natasha.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, Natasha.
So BioOptic has developed a non-invasive handheld pressure measurement system. With our system, essentially clinicians can provide their patients with quantitative feedback. Now, in the last few years, BioOptic has received a preliminary patent, completed initial clinical studies, and currently our team is working on the latest version of the device before moving into more widespread testing. As we look towards the future, our team recognizes that there is a young population entering the market, eager to gain awareness about their health, and an elderly population in present need of further monitoring. So with such an expanding market, we are excited to move forward towards the promotion and sales of our technology. We just wanted to take a moment, though, to thank Engine for all of their support throughout our development of this device, including the Tech Idea Pitch Competition, TechExcel grant opportunity, and finally, the Ian McLaughlin Prize today. Thank you guys so, so much.
Wonderful, thank you. So Yannick, you're up next.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, and thank you, Katya, and thank you so much, Mr. McLaughlin. I'm Yannick, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Stokate, an online platform that helps you buy sustainably. At Stokate, we're growing our expertise in being able to evaluate the sustainability of a product, service, or store. Based on its inputs and impacts across the supply chain, we're developing algorithms to produce a sustainability score. Our goal is to help shoppers determine how much their purchases align with both their values and their needs. The sustainability score is offered through our marketplace. So the Stokate platform acts as a sales funnel to sustainable stores and generates revenue from transactions and ads. Right now, we're working with relevant organizations at McGill to understand their needs. And we have the perfect team to do this, from PhD to undergraduate with backgrounds in engineering, design, sustainability, and community building. So if you care about eco-friendly, local, fair trade, or even just good quality, let us help you put your money where your values are. Thank you, and thanks so much, Engine, for the TechExcel Prize and now the Ian McLaughlin Prize. And I hope to see you all on Stokate soon.
Excellent, and see you in the breakout rooms later, hopefully, for networking. Great, moving right along to our startup internship program. So we were very fortunate to put this in place for a second summer in a row with the help of funding from alumnus John Thompson and the Tech Nation Career Ready program subsidies. We had, here we go. We had the following 7 McGill undergrad students do summer internships at our selected McGill affiliated startups. Big round of applause. We'll now have a testimonial from one of the interns about her experience, Rakshita Ravi, who interned at Acrylic Robotics. Rakshita.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Rakshita and I interned at Acrylic. So Acrylic basically is a company which is digitizing the art world, making art accessible to everybody. And I was lucky enough to get the opportunity to work in the intersection of 2 things I love the most, machine learning and painting. And it was a wonderful experience with all the workshops that Engine gave us and the mentorship Professor Michael gave us. It was really nice and I had the space to get creative at work. It was a nice experience. Thank you.
Great. And next, here we have the actual 7 McGill affiliated spin-off startups. And now if Chloe is here, she can talk about her experience. She is the CEO and founder of Acrylic Robotics, who had Rakshita as her intern. I think Chloe was going to try to come in from her banquet, so she's multitasking. Chloe, are you there?
Hey, very sorry, having some technical issues.
Hey, when you're multitasking, right? And you're at a party too, so go ahead.
No, yeah, thank you so much. Rakshita was absolutely fantastic. Startup internship program allowed us to bring her on to work on machine learning. We managed to find her. Katya sent me an email saying, hey, check through your applicants. Keep an eye out for Rakshita. She's both a computer engineer and on the side, she runs her own art business. You guys should go check it out. She's a really talented artist. So yeah, thank you so much to all the donors for making that possible and allowing us to bring on Rakshita. We were able to work on projects that we would not otherwise have been able to work on. Specifically on the machine learning side, the rest of our intern tech team was more focused on the hardware and software. So we really were able to make some innovative strides as a result of your support. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Chloe. And Acrylic was also a past TechExcel grantee and went on to be a winner in the Dobson Cup also. So congratulations and carry on the great work at Acrylic. Next up, we've got, and a big round of applause. Next up, we have the TechExcel grantees shown here in alphabetical order. So the TechExcel grants, they come out of the Faculty of Engineering Engine Innovation Fund, which is funded by charitable gifts from alumni and other community donors. These grants help McGill students jumpstart and accelerate their technologically based ideas that have business or social impact potential. The teams get to develop their entrepreneurial skills through an online training platform, one-on-one business mentorship, and project funding for product, process, or service development. The program allows participants to define the core purpose of their startup, clarify their vision to their team and potential investors, speak with actual stakeholders to test the team's hypotheses, and have the ability to present an overview of the startup venture in a convincing and clear way as part of a succinct pitch presentation, which takes place during our TechExcel showcase. It is available 3 times per year and is an enriched educational opportunity, allowing for co-curricular record recognition for the students. Our TechExcel undergraduate summer stipend grantees get to work full-time on their startups over the summer. Over 200 student innovators and entrepreneurs have been trained via our TechExcel program since its inception in 2016. And 65% of the teams are still active with their ventures. We have 48% of our TechExcel participants coming from other faculties besides engineering. So mainly science and arts, but multidisciplinary teams. So we had a total here, you see 18 teams from our 3 cohorts. So that would be winter, summer, and fall 2021. We've also seen a significant increase in female participants in the program, with the highest percentage right now in the fall cohort of 41% female participants. And we'll have 4 breakout rooms for discussion with most of these teams later. So big round of applause for all of you. And I now have the pleasure to introduce and invite another one of our generous donors, Howard Stotland, to say some words and introduce the teams that will be pitching. We did select one from each cohort, so Trust Care, Cloud9, and Brighton. First, let me introduce Howard. So Howard is an entrepreneur, investor, and philanthropist who is passionate about developing entrepreneurial talent. He received a master's degree in engineering from MIT in 1968 and his bachelor's in civil engineering from McGill in 1966. Howard was the founder in 1972 of a Montreal-based software company called STS Systems. STS grew over the years and became a leading supplier of software solutions to the retail industry in North America and UK markets. STS employed more than 700 employees, with the majority being in Montreal. Many McGill graduates built their careers at STS. Since selling STS in 2001, Howard has been involved as an investor in many technology startups, as well as a board member of several public companies. So, Howard, it's your turn.
You just have to put me on the screen, which I guess you're doing.
You're there.
Thanks, Katya. It's a pleasure to be here with the whole group, and I've been on the attending engine functions for many years now, maybe since the beginning, and I've seen the progress. And I have to say one thing, you guys are really lucky, because when we studied at McGill, we just had courses. We didn't have a chance to explore and be involved in startups. And I think the way to learn is this program, TechExcel and learning and entrepreneurship, is a great way. You know, I ended up being an entrepreneur, but I learned it on my own, you know, and I made a lot of mistakes, and you're going to make a lot of mistakes. There's one thing about being an entrepreneur is there's no book. There is no book to tell you every single thing you have to do. You have to take a lot of risk and take gambles, but you work with your partners, or you work with other people, and there's a good chance you're going to be successful. I'm not going to talk about any technology, but a couple things that I thought were important to be successful is take good care of your employees. That's number one, because if you take good care of your employees, they're going to work really hard with you to be successful, and they're going to work with your customers, and your customers are going to be happy. So that's not a technical thing. Take good care of your employees. Second, if you've got partners, then each one focus in their area. Don't say, I should do what the other guy's doing, because each guy or gal should focus on their particular area. And if you work together as a team, talking a lot, you got a good chance of being successful. Two interesting things I heard from Katja just now is when I went to McGill Engineering, we had 1 or 2 females in the whole department. Today, she's talking about 40%. That's amazing, and that's great. And the other thing is engineering did nothing in those days with other departments within McGill. And today, you're a multidisciplinary. You know, it's amazing that you're working with humanities and other departments, because solutions that are needed today cross departments. They're not just focused in one area. So you got to be able to work with other disciplines. And I think that's very important. I'm happy to be here today to talk to you guys. I've attended many sessions, and now I'm going to introduce some of the teams that are going to talk, and let's have you guys present. So the first team we're going to do is Trust Care. These are 5 McGill grad students, all from electrical and computer engineering. And I'm going to hand it over to Lulan, who's going to give us the pitch. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Actually, we do have students from CS department as well, and also bioinformatics. But anyways, so Trust Care works on problem to facilitate the communication between elders, family members, and long-term care facilities. I don't know whether any of you have any family members living in care facilities or have lived in there before. Do you desire to know their status, for example, their health condition, their mood, the quality of care they received, etc.? But currently, the residents' family members are not able to know the elder status received at any time they want, which potentially lead to distrust between family members and care staff. So our group aimed to create a real-time intelligence system by using video monitoring to provide elders real-time status to their family members. At the same time, we're gonna provide those information to caregivers to help them to respond to elders' needs and potentially emergency much faster. Yeah, that's all about what we do. And thanks a lot for Engine provide us great support to help us developing at this stage.
Thank you very much for presenting. And now we're going to hear from Cloud9. This is 5 McGill students and 1 from the U of T. And I'm going to hand it over to Tanbin, and let's hear yours.
Hi, thank you again for giving me the opportunity to speak today. Hi, my name is Tanbin. I'm an electrical engineering here at McGill. And like many other students living off campus at McGill, I faced a lot of problems in terms of obtaining housing services. And as an engineering student, I couldn't help but do something about it. And so me and some of my friends sat together about it, and we saw that there are a lot of inconveniences within this market. Students, while there are many resources and services in obtaining, such as renting an apartment or cleaning and everything, there is a lot of pain points in the experience, which is affecting academics for students. So we came up with an idea which we call Cloud9 as an indication to a happy place. So our idea is basically to have all housing related services and things together in one mobile platform. If you can see my screen, I have a little demo of our app on the right. So essentially what it does is it brings together everything related to housing, be it looking for an apartment, looking for a cleaner, looking for roommates, or even sell your furnitures, and not just obtaining, but also providing those services. So it's a midway bridge between providers like renters, landlords, and cleaners and movers, and also students. And we are really excited about this idea. And right now we have a design project capstone team working on it. We are growing as we speak, and we're still in our early stages, but we really want to thank the whole McGill Engine team for choosing us as one of the grantees that really gave us the confidence in believing in our idea. And we would love to talk more about it during the breakout rooms with anyone who's interested to know. Thank you again, Katya and the whole Engine team, our mentors. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I've sat through a complete presentation that you made at one of the meetings, and guess we're making lots of progress, and it's nice to hear that you're moving on. So for the last team for the first part, we're going to listen to Brighton, and this is a team of 3 McGill undergrads, 2 from electrical, computer, and software engineering, and 1 from mechanical engineering. So let's hear from it, Nathan.
Great, thank you very much, Mr. Stotland. So Bryan came about because Canada has a particular problem that has been largely unaddressed and one that desperately needs a solution, in our opinion. We commonly call this problem winter depression. Young people and particularly university students struggle with this problem immensely in Canada. As an example, one such person that we interviewed suffered from mood swings and habits that impacted her sleep, her diet, and that gave her anxiety. And although she tried seeking external help, the hospitals and health centers that she tried to reach were either too expensive or too often overrun and without appointments for months, leaving her with nothing to start taking care of herself, essentially. And so in Canada, there are 800,000 people just like her, suffering from seasonal affective disorder. This is a severe mood disorder where individuals suffer from depressive symptoms throughout the winter months. Another 5.6 million people in Canada experience winter seasonality, a less severe form of this disorder that many more people may relate to. At Bryan, our mission is to change the way that people experience winters in Canada by giving them the tools they need to start taking better care of themselves and their mental health. At Bryan, we're developing the very first smart light therapy lamp. This new lamp will pair easily via Bluetooth to our mobile application, which can be downloaded and set up in seconds. Our algorithms will seamlessly transfer users' exposure data with our lamp and also track physical activity and sleeping patterns. Our software correlates this data to mood and energy levels, which they input daily in less than 10 seconds. And through insights and analytics, our algorithm recommends users the actions that make sense to them in the schedule that makes sense to them. At its core, our platform supports users in engaging with the right behaviors to address their symptoms of seasonality, improve the quality of their lifestyles and their mental health. At Bryan, we value positive change towards a better winter season for all Canadians. Our dream is simple: to improve winters for millions of people and to normalize mental health care. Thank you.
Very nice, Nathan. It's a good presentation and an important area, an important topic. So I guess we've heard from the three cohort teams, and now we're going to continue with Katja and the new invention and the new impact training program. So I'm handing it over to you, Katja.
Thank you, Howard. Thanks so much. So this is a new program that's sponsored by the Ministère d'Éducation Supérieure that allows us to offer experiential learning for McGill grad students and their principal investigators, their PIs, for commercializing their research, namely through customer discovery and understanding market and industry needs. So it's modeled off of the NSF I-Corps program. Shown in bold are the entrepreneurial leads, the grad students and their teams, other grad students and professors. So a big round of applause. You see a range of areas, a range of technologies there. And before we have a brief pitch from one of them, I need to thank the mentors that are volunteering their time to mentor these teams. So Julia Munoz, Stuart Kozlik, Hugh Cameron, Derek Wong, and Michael Abedisian. Thank you so much to our mentors as part of this program. And so now I'm just going to go back one slide, and I'm going to invite Professor Corinne Hosley, who will give a short pitch about C2 biosurfaces, versatile surface treatment platform to create cell-specific biocompatible implants or cell culture systems.
Thanks, Katya, and thanks for all the sponsors and also the Faculty of Engineering for making this new program possible, because this has been a really great experience. So 7 years ago, when I started at McGill, I had this CIHR grant on engineering stents that would be biomimetic. They would try to capture regenerative cells from flow, and then they would stick on the stent, and then they would reestablish a normal blood vessel lining. So we submitted a patent on this technology, but then we realized, you know what, maybe we could apply this for all sorts of other applications. Anytime you want to improve the performance of a material in contact with cells, but when it's important to only select a certain cell type. So we figured maybe we could make culture dishes, maybe we could make beads, we could make all sorts of different materials. So this could be a platform technology, a surface treatment that you can apply for different materials. So I was very lucky to recruit Hugo as one of my PhD students, because he's interested in entrepreneurship, and that's how we co-founded C2 Biosurfaces. And if you want to learn more, I'll be in the breakout rooms.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Corinne. and other teams should be there too in the breakout rooms. So I'm now going to invite Professor Benoit Brulé to come up and to announce the TechXLR, that's for research grantees, and as well as afterwards the winners of the William and Rhea Sheath Awards in Engineering Innovation, which both help support the commercialization of technologies. So Benoit. I don't know if you're on mute, Benoit, we don't hear you. Okay, you're just trying to figure out the audio there or something? Something's gone awry.
I think he's to sign back in.
Oh, okay, he had some difficulty there. He's coming back in.
Okay, sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, all right. Okay, so as I was saying, the TechXLR grants help professors in the Faculty of Engineering accelerate their research-based ideas that are reported as inventions, but need further validation prior to commercialization. So this past year's went to first to Professors Milan Maric, Richard Leask, and Jim Neisel for additives that prevents surface defects in PVC films. First one. The second one is Professor Mathieu Brochu and Dr. Sunyoung Kwon for high temperature tellurium-based solder alloys. And the third one went to Professor Miriban Pecularius and Dr. Luis Villegas Amenta for accelerated alloy discovery through machine learning. So congratulations, and I now invite our teams to give a 1-minute pitch. And we're going to start with Milan's team. Please, Milan.
Okay, so Rich is going to take it over.
Yep. Okay, thank you. So this project has been in the pipeline for years between myself, Jim, and Milan. We've been developing additives for plastic production that adhere to the principles of green chemistry and are aimed at providing sustainable alternatives to what's in the market. One of them we had been developing for reduced leaching in plastic products, and our company sponsor at the time through an NSERC discovered that it also was a very useful processing aid in hot rolling. So with this additive in their formulation, they could reduce the waste, the recycling in hot rolling of PVC films. So the TechExcel has allowed us to be able to further explore this, start up our scale up for commercialization, as well as our life cycle analysis. And I'd be happy to discuss more of it in the breakout rooms afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. So let's now move to Mathieu's team. Please, Mathieu.
Thank you, Benoit. With Sunyoung, we tackled a quite important problem, which is to try to get rid of lead in solder. So for high temperature applications, such as the newest circuit board of automotive and die attachment sensor for manufacturing of plastic, they need some solder with a melting point in the range of 260 to 350 degrees C. That's more or less the target range. Right now, the only lead-free alternative that they have is a tin silver copper alloy, which has a melting point of 217, so below the requirement. So due to that, there's still an exemption of the restriction of hazardous substances for lead. So people are still able to use lead because there's key application like this that without the lead in the solder, we would just not been able to have it. So with SunYoung, we've developed 4 alloys, 4 variants based on tellurium, tellurium being quite heavily used material in solar cell. So we started with this and we managed to cover this range of about like 280 to 325 degrees C with those 4 variants. And we're currently now working at getting those alloy to be commercially adopted by a powder producer of alloys.
That is great. Thank you, Mathieu. Finally, let's hear from Miriban's team. Miriban.
Hi.
Yes, Dr. Luis Villegas will take over.
All right.
Yeah, hi. Well, thank you so much, first of all, for this grant. We're really grateful for it. Our project that we're developing, it's used to accelerate alloy design, specifically for light alloys like magnesium and aluminum, using machine learning. So the distinctive thing that we're using right now is that we're not using the classical approach that everybody uses, like you're using supervised learning to predict a given property, but we're applying a proprietary method of unsupervised learning. So we don't have the need for these large data sets to create our inventions. So the project that we have developed so far has allowed us to make an alloy that got reach very, very good properties for creep resistance in aluminum diesel engines. And we made it in 2 weeks compared to this to be normally done around 1 year, 2 year development. So we can go through the iterative process much faster by applying both domain knowledge and machine learning. And this will result in a much more accelerated and optimized result at the end. So we're very excited for the project, and we keep developing and improving our methods and trying to make a difference on this.
That's exciting. Thank you, Louis. So next up are the WRSAs. So the William and Rhea Sheath Awards in Engineering Innovation recognize outstanding graduate students and professors who are conducting R&D with potential of commercialization. So the William Rhea Sheath awardees for 2020-2021 are first Professor Nathalie Tufengji in Chemical Engineering and Dr. Mathieu Lapierre for a paradigm shift in water treatment, re-engineering with low-cost, sustainable, and recovered wastes. Congratulations. And the second team is our PhD student Pavel Sina and Professors Yanis Saramilikos and Zelko Zilic in Electrical and Computer Engineering for power-efficient AI processor with direct raw camera sensor data processing. So congratulations to both teams. And the awardees will present a short 3-minute pitch each. So let's start with Nathalie's team. Nathalie, please.
Thank you very much, Benoit. Thank you. So what we've proposed with our technology is a paradigm shift in the way we treat water globally. The conventional approach to treat water is to add chemicals that serve to aggregate the contaminants into larger flocks that we can then separate from the treated water by just simple settling. So the problem with this approach is that it uses millions of tons of chemicals that are costly, unsustainable, but also may not be effective at removing some emerging contaminants. And also these flocks that they form tend to be small, so which limits their settling velocity and therefore the plant capacity. And so to address this problem, what we've done is we invented a solution that relies on sustainable and very inexpensive cellulose fibers. So essentially what we do is we coat recycled cellulose fibers with iron oxides to form supersized flocks that grab more contaminants and make it much easier to remove these flocks from the treated water. So essentially we're using cellulose fibers as a very cheap way as very cheap super bridging agents to remove contaminants from water. And we've been working with and discussing with industrial partners, and they share our vision that this technology can be a game changer in the water industry by not only improving contaminant removal, but also reducing the size and the cost of treatment plants, and of course, the demand for unsustainable chemicals. So we're very grateful for the support of the McGill Engine and also the William and Rhea Sheath Award that will help us advance our technology towards commercialization. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Nathalie. I now pass it along to Pavel. Pavel?
Yes. Thank you, Professor Benwabule. And I thank the entire team of McGill Engine, for supporting us at various ways and different times, especially for this WRSA award. With the help of this, we were able to take a technology that we developed for low power AI, which we intend to basically take low power in AI into our everyday use. And for this project, we implement this, in an SDR application. And though initially we had presented it for the raw camera sensor data processing, we ended up doing the SDR application. And I also thank Engine for supporting me through the MyTax e-accelerate program, and combined with the WRSA, I think we have a very good opportunity here to take extremely low power AI that can run on battery for, without changing the battery for several months. That's the target, and use it for SDR applications. I won't go further into technical, and I think I can meet up in the breakout rooms there to discuss anything further there.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Pavel.
Thank you.
So thank you. I'd like to remind you that this year's call for proposals for the WRSA is still open. Okay. So if any of you here are thinking maybe I should apply, please do apply. The deadline is fast approaching. It's December 3rd. So we look forward to receiving new and exciting project proposals from many of you. So finally, I have the honor of presenting our inventors with patents from current professors and students, the Faculty of Engineering. These patents were issued from November 17, 2020 to November 15, 2021. During this period, our researchers reported 34 inventions to the Office of Innovation and Partnership, which I now lead. This represents an increase of 48% over last year. And the Office of Innovations and Partnerships filed 40 patent applications for the Faculty of Engineering, which is an increase of 43%. And we had a total of 7 issued patents with McGill Engineering inventors. They are shown here. Thank you, Katya. So they are as in order of issue date. Some are licenses, some are still available. They are Damiano Passini, Bernard Johnston, Michael Tanzer, and Sajjad Arabnejad Kanoki for structural porous biomaterial and implant form of same. And I know this has been, in clinical testing and it's still developing. The second one is Ferry Asani, Mohammed Efni, and Merdad Fadal Kermani for methods and systems for foam mine fill. Third one here is Zetian Mi, Songrui Zhao, and Renji Wang's for high efficiency visible and ultraviolet. It's actually on the screen, right? Ultraviolet nanowire emitters. The fourth one is Shoan Azat, Chiara Gezi, Benedetto Marelli, Nezan Nejat, and Oliver Karampour for dense hydrogels. Fifth that we have here is method and apparatus for wirelessly communicating over a noisy channel with a variable code word length, polar codes to improve transmission capacity by Warren Gross, Adam Christian Cavatasi, Thibaut Tonnelier, and Yichun Jay. The sixth is bioresorbable medical devices and method of manufacturing the same by Rosa Mongrain, Steve Yu, Olivier Bertrand. And the last but not least is sulfidated nanoscale zero-valent iron and method of use thereof by Subhasis Ghoshal and Surya Bhattacharjee. So congratulations to all of you, inventors and patent holders. It's certainly great. So, and I invite Professor Shoan Nazat to give us a 1-minute update on the status of their patent. So Shoan, please, if you may.
Thank you, Benoit. Thank you, Katya and the engine team for this great evening. So yeah, this patent actually protects the technology for the processing and delivery of collagen and other fibrillar protein based hydrogels. So these have particular applications in biomaterials, tissue engineering, drug delivery, as well as in vitro tissue modeling. And the patent was previously granted by the USPTO and now in Canada. And I should also acknowledge actually the technology was significantly advanced through a previous William and Rhea Sheath award that was given in 2018. And with that work, we actually filed a follow-up patent application that has recently gone through national phase entry. And specifically, this work allowed us to advance the high throughput production, automated biofabrication, as well as 3D bioprinting based upon these materials. And currently there is a company that's what I would say at an advanced level of discussions with McGill commercialization in terms of the optioning of the technology for clinical applications. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Shoan. And a big round of applause for all of our inventors and award winners. So once again, okay, so please make sure to stick around after the event and join our breakout rooms to connect with all these inventors. So as we bring this portion of the event to a close, I would like to once again thank tonight's winners and presenters for sharing their incredible work with us. I'd also like to thank all of our generous donors for their continuous support in helping the McGill Engine develop tomorrow's technological innovators and entrepreneurs. It's really, really, really appreciated. Last but not least, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us tonight in celebrating cutting-edge ideas and the drive to spark change and make an impact on the world we live in. It's not about making gizmos, it's about having impact and solving problems. And as we continue through the challenges of the global pandemic this past year, we must also celebrate the resilience and ability to adapt of our whole community. And I'd like to thank the Engine staff. Love you guys. You did fabulous in a very difficult pandemic condition, I would say, but it actually went pretty well. So congratulations. So as witnessed tonight, innovation and the need to create solutions for a better tomorrow doesn't stop. It must accelerate, in fact. I hope that it inspires you all to keep striving to meet society's challenges and to connect with potential avenues to leverage your projects. So in this spirit, McGill University and the Faculty of Engineering are committed to continuing to prioritize and support entrepreneurship within the university. Through the programs highlighted tonight, we aim to encourage and grow an entrepreneurial mindset and ecosystem amongst our students and faculty to help move outstanding research results from our labs to the marketplace in order to serve society and to build our R&D relations with industry. I should say that I participated in a large workshop organized by the Quebec government on innovation today. And during the whole day, there was talk about, let's collaborate more, let's do more, let's be a little bit more bold, take a little bit more risks. And, there's a support ecosystem that's being built around it that is really fantastic. So we look forward to seeing that new ideas are on the horizon and that further impactful developments come out of our current projects and patents. And I want to give you time to continue networking. So I invite you all to join the breakout rooms now or ask us to join if you don't have Zoom 5.3.0, which is or later. You may not be able to join by yourself, but Charmaine and Katya will be able to help you. So we're showing, the breakout rooms are appearing here on the screen. So please If you're interested to join the breakout rooms, this is for more like private, not private, but direct discussions with the teams, with the people there. So I encourage you to network. I appreciate very much your spending time with us tonight. The engine is just something beautiful that keeps growing and keeps producing more and more marvelous things. So I'm impressed, and I'm very happy about it. So, and I'd like to thank Jim also, Jim Neisel, big supporter of the engine and Dean of Engineering, of course.